Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Rooted Creative Podcast. Today, we're talking a little bit about 4 quick ways to make some easy cash in your business. This one, especially, I think, is going to be more aimed towards photographers and videographers because as of this past week, when we got our Q2 GDP analytics back, right? We saw that we are officially in a recession, at least the United States is. And a recession is defined by 2 consecutive quarters with negative GDP growth, which is what has been happening. And so, in a recession, it is a time where people are, a little scared with their money. They're a little more cautious on what they're spending on. Money is not as easy to have, and purchasing decisions take a little bit more time and discernment to happen before a decision is made. And as small business owners, I think we feel the effects of that a lot because we can be seen as, non-essential. I mean, hello, back to 2020, where we tend to be looked at as more of a luxury than a necessity. And so, especially in the age of a recession, that is going to be completely possible. People may be a little hesitant to spend, thousands of dollars for a wedding or a photographer, videographer, even a graphic designer, and so on, because it's not necessarily a necessity. And, or I guess I should say, it's not something that they view as a necessity right now. And so I had this talk with Dawn a couple weeks ago. And as I was chatting with her, I realized a bit further that our marketing message not only needs to change, I think we need to be educating our clients a little more on maybe how wedding photography can be considered something like a necessity and not just a luxury, but also how we need to be like showing how that's a necessity, right? Like, you don't want Uncle Bob going and shooting your wedding and giving you like terrible photos on a really important day. Sometimes it's worth spending the extra money to have those memories, right? But nonetheless, what happens if we're already doing that and it doesn't seem to be working and we're still not getting bookings? Because there seems to be a trend right now where people are really struggling to get those bookings, even with higher prices. And due to inflation, I wouldn't necessarily recommend, lowering your prices, because there's a reason we have our prices the way they are, so we're not losing money. And so to lower our prices in the recession age isn't necessarily probably the right move, just because we don't want to be losing money. And we're also at a 9.1% inflation rate. So instead of lowering our prices, we don't want to do that. Let's think back to 2020, okay? And the wild ride that was when all in-person photo shoots and meetings went out the door. How are we supposed to make money if we couldn't be doing our job, if we couldn't be going out and meeting people and taking their photos in person, right? Not only is it a good thing to also have like other avenues of revenue, but it's also a good idea to have other quick and successful ways to make money, and also consistent. So that in a time of dryness like this, a season of dryness, we still have some liquidation and some money coming through. Because if we give up during the times of a recession, our businesses might not make it statistically. So we can't give up on our marketing. We can't give up on our business, because if we do, we might not survive. Just kind of a wake-up call for all of us, because it's true. Businesses, small businesses especially, are affected more than any other business, any other corporation in the times of a recession. And so the moment that you give up or you stop marketing or you just throw in the towel is the moment that your business won't make it. So here are just a couple of 4 quick ways that I have found are really great to get you some consistent, quick income for your business, even through tough financial times, believe it or not. Number 1 is anniversary shoots. Have you ever thought to work with the clients that you already have? This is, I think, a really big thing that we all do. We kind of shoot the wedding of our clients, or, to do their photos, take their photos, and then we kind of just never talk to them again sometimes and like let them go off and do their own thing and live their own life. But you have an 80% higher chance of rebooking a client you've already worked with than booking a new client. So, an anniversary shoot is a great way to keep those clients that you've already had coming back. This one, especially for my photographer and videographer friends, obviously. But seriously, what a missed opportunity if you're not already doing this, because not only is it a higher booking rate because they already know you and they already trust you, but when you offer a special discount also for repeat clients, there's a really high percentage that they're going to book you. So, for example, if you charge a normal price of like 650 an hour, you charge, maybe you give them $100 off, 550 for 1 hour. You already know them and it's quick, easy money. So, easy money. Consider setting up a workflow in Honeybook that sends your clients an email 11 months after their project date, asking them if they would be interested in an anniversary trip or a shoot. And you can even have them meet you somewhere fun for their anniversary trip, like their first year. If they want to go on a little trip, meet them out there, go take their photos, right? And then that also grows your travel portfolio. Have them come to you, make it easy, and just make it really quick, easy cash. The possibilities are endless. And one thing that James and I personally have done every year is actually get our photos taken on every anniversary. So, talk about how cool it is to document each year and get them signing up for years and years to come, not just the first anniversary, but get them coming back for their third, their fifth, their 10th. And the more you do that and the more clientele that you actually build, you're going to be having more anniversary shoots, which is going to, in turn, hopefully, create more consistent income for you each year. So, anniversary shoots. That's number one. Number two, along the same lines, but family shoots. Especially as wedding photographers, we are dealing with couples who are hopefully soon going to be growing their families. And when that happens, that's a perfect opportunity to kind of slide in and be like, hey, I can take your maternity photos, or I can take your, brand newborn family photos, right? Same thing. Follow your clients on social media, become their friend, and see when they start to grow their family and pop into their DMs. This one's a little harder to set up in a workflow because we can never tell when people are going to have kids or when they're going to be choosing to start their family. So that's why I recommend actually just getting personal with them on something like social media and then popping into the DMs when the opportunity presents itself. Now, you might not know this, but I actually do photograph families. I don't market it, but I only do it for past clients. And so when one of my past clients is pregnant or expecting or adopting or something like that, I'm always in the DMs like, hey, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you guys. More than just like DMing out of the blue, though, I think you definitely want to be friends with your clients on social media so that it's not a totally weird thing. You'll have a higher chance of booking them at that point. But anyways, pop into their DMs. Hey, I saw you're pregnant, expecting. I would love to take your family photos, and here's $100 off of what I normally charge. I mean, come on. Everybody's trying to get their photos taken at this day and age. Like, we want it for social media. We want it for family sharing, presenting, announcements, that type of deal. So when you see it, go for it. Put your foot in the door, shoot your shot, because if you don't, you're missing out on some opportunity. Know what I mean? Okay, cool. So family photos are great. And it can be, pregnancy, adoption, whatever. It can also be any sort of big life event, like leaving a big house, they're moving. I have couples that are moving from California all the time. And I'm like, hey, this was your first home together as a married couple. I'd love to come over and do like a fun little in-home shoot. Not only is that more content that you get, same with anniversary shoots. Not only is that content you're going to get with couples, but it's also consistent money too. So you got to be looking for those opportunities that are going to be really easy ways. The other thing too that I didn't write down, but I think is a really good one, is mini sessions. So if Valentine's Day is coming up, do Valentine's Day couples mini sessions, like, $150 for 30 minutes. You get 30 photos of you and your boo, that's another really quick way to make some money. And it's not a lot of editing on your part because it's only 30 photos to be delivered. You know what I mean? mini sessions during Valentine's Day for holiday cards. It's a great opportunity for families, like at the end of the year. A lot of photographers already do that, but I think it's a great way to also get some, a boost of income at the end of the year. So, something else to consider. The third thing has nothing to do with shooting, it has everything to do with digital. So, we talked about this last week with Shay from Bucket List Bombshells. Go listen to that episode. It's the one before this if you haven't already. She's very well versed in this area, and that is why I had her on the show, and she killed it. I actually learned so much from her. But selling digital products is a huge opportunity that I think a lot of us are sleeping on. Um, what's one thing that you're the expert in and that not everybody else is the expert in or might be struggling with? Can you teach on it? Can you mentor others? Can you help them accomplish their goals? And also, is there a need for it? That's really important because you don't want to just put something out there if there's already a bunch of other guides on it or there's just simply no need for it. So, here's an example. I have a lot of web design background. I feel like I'm pretty well versed in the website realm, and I can tell a good website from a bad website. I can also help identify and critique websites on what needs to be improved, how's your SEO, all that good stuff. So when it comes to websites, I like to consider myself kind of an expert. And what I did is I hosted a website winning workshop. I know you've heard about it on this podcast if you've been listening. It made me close to $4,000 and it was just $37 to sign up. And it was quick income to get into to for me to reinvest not only in Rooted and this business, but it's also just quick income that wasn't a high ticket price. So there wasn't like a sticker shock, right? People were able to pay for it. It was affordable. We had a lot of people sign up because there was definitely a need for it, but it was all digital. It cost me virtually nothing to put on. So a lot of that was profit, which is awesome because not only am I helping the community with something that I'm an expert at, but it also brought in some nice income for me, which I honestly wasn't sure what to expect with it. And that's why I think I'm sharing it, is because it went really well and it brought in a lot of awesome income. And then on top of that, I was able to go and maybe like what I did is I introduced like a personal mentorship that you can have with your website one-on-one with me for a higher price. And we had a couple people sign up for that too. So it was just extra income that I could be putting into Rooted and bringing to the business. So consider something digital. There's a lot of possibilities there. While this maybe like, it might not be super consistent income. Digital products require a lot of marketing effort, which is okay. Maybe we get some ads rolling so that we get some more, consistent income. But I think there's a strategy that comes into place and it takes work and it does take a strategy. But when it gets working, it will provide for you. So it's smart and it's possible. Consider doing that. And again, I wouldn't put out a guide that every other photographer has put out. I would think of something that you're the expert in and something that is needed in the industry. And then, sell something like that. Also, have you considered presets or selling your LUTs if you're a videographer? Okay, cool. Consider doing that too, because there are many photographers who will buy more than one preset pack. So if they have presets that they want and they like your style, it's easy money. So ever since I started doing my presets with Greg, I consistently probably bring in around $200 a week. So consistent, and it's nice cash to have to put back into my business. Okay, and number 4 is a really, really, really big one that I think a lot of us don't utilize, but is so important. And I'm going to talk about just some of the numbers that I've made with this one. Selling your prints and albums is a great opportunity to bring in some income for your business. Don't sleep on this one, friends. I use PickTime as my gallery delivery system, and I guess this one is very aimed towards photographers. So videographers, maybe there's something you guys can do, like if you want to sell more of the raw footage or something like that. Don't sleep on that opportunity either. But as PickTime, last year alone, I brought in $7,000 in profit from prints and albums. And I really did not get that number. Sales from using the platform's marketing campaigns is how I did it. And here are just some numbers I have real quick. So my anniversary campaign, where basically like when their anniversary is approaching, It sends them a special discount code and it sends them emails, not only to the main clients, like the couple, but also to everybody else who they have shared the gallery with. So they all get this email like the anniversary is coming up, and it's a great gift opportunity for someone who has been given the gallery, maybe their mom, and wants to get them an anniversary present like an album or a book or a print or something like that. And they get this email with the discount code, and then they're like, okay, well, I'm going to do this as their gift. And it's a great opportunity to make some money. So I think to date, so this is 3 years I've had Pick Time. My anniversary campaign has brought in a total of $6,400, $6,419 to be specific. To date, that's money I didn't have. And it didn't take me a lot to set that up either. So yeah. That was my anniversary campaign. My abandoned cart campaign has brought in $2,996 to date, which is 3 years again. Holiday cards in 2021, I had a holiday card campaign go out. It brought in $1,335 just in 2021, just on that campaign. My holiday cards in 2020, similar number, $1,300. And it took me less than 5 minutes to set up each of these campaigns. Those are just a few of them. There is plenty more. And to say that this is an opportunity that just brings in money and doesn't require a lot of effort or like time set up is such an understatement, because honestly, it's the quickest way to make money as photographers. Don't miss out on this. Now, I know PicTime has a really great campaign setting for this. I'm not super familiar with like Pixie Set or any of the other ones out there. So I recommend PicTime. If you're interested, there is a 15% off code for Rooted. Just put Rooted. I believe it still applies. If not, please message me and I will try and get that all situated. But seriously, don't sleep on the PicTime campaign. Go and do those marketing campaigns to get those prints and those albums sold at certain times of the year. And you can keep going back. Every anniversary, send that out, right? Every holiday coming up for holiday cards, send it out. Everybody's trying to get those holiday cards, right? Like it makes sense for Valentine's Day, for Mother's Day. Gosh, there's so many things. Okay. So don't sleep on that opportunity. Set up those campaigns in your gallery delivery system and put the work into them to get them in your people's inbox. It's going to make you some quick money and hopefully some consistent money as well. It's time for us to start brainstorming other ways to make some easy money, because we can't give up. The recession is here. We can't give up on our businesses. And while it might be a little more difficult to sell to clients thousands of dollars for a wedding, right? There are other ways that we can be providing a lot of value, but also still making some consistent and quick cash for our businesses when we need it. Because the moment that we do give up is the moment that we may lose our business. And I know that's not what you want. That's not what I want. Recessions are a tough thing for small businesses to work through. And most businesses actually fail. Small businesses, at least, fail during recessions when they give up. Don't let your business be a part of that statistic. Let's start working smarter, not necessarily harder, though it may require a little more effort. And let's start using what we already have, like our clients, to keep us going. Maybe new clients might be a little harder to obtain. We already have a lot of previous clients. Start using them. Not using them in a bad way, but start using them for other opportunities too. Don't sleep on those people. And friend, don't lose hope, because seriously, you are not alone in this. Okay. I promise you, we are all in this, and it's a difficult time, but I want to just encourage you that you can do it. There are ways to do it. Here are just 4 quick ways to get that money, especially as a photographer. So I hope that this helps you. I hope that this encourages you. And guess what? Today, actually might have been yesterday, is the last day to buy a Rooted Hawaii ticket. We did sell the last ticket, but if you really want to come, don't miss out on the opportunity. The last time to sign up is today or yesterday. But if you email me, I'm sure we can work something out. I want to see you there. It's going to be really fun. I am trying to get us to go to my favorite restaurant. It's called Lava Lava Beach Club. It's first come, first serve, so I can't do reservations. But y'all, the garlic shrimp, I know I've talked about it before on this podcast, but I have dreams about it. It's so good. So I'm trying to get us all to go there. It's going to be great. Please come if you want to. Otherwise, this has been another episode. Thank you for tuning in. I can't wait to chat with you next week as well. And hey, get in the Facebook group. Let's talk about this more. Would love to chat. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful Wednesday and see you next week.